Hi Fox Class, part 4 of Sally Gardner's The Invisible Boy. Sam's been taken away on holiday and hidden Splod in his rucksack. What's going to happen?
Chapter 13. It was hard to imagine a more miserable and isolated place. Even when tea was made and the lights turned on, it had the feeling of being at the end of the world, and there was no way back. Sam's room was smaller than the last one, and worst of all, the walls seemed to be made of paper. He could hear every word of what Hilda and Ernie had to say, and none of it was good. Finally, he could hear Hilda snoring, and he knew he was safe to look in his rucksack. He wanted to make sure he hadn't gone completely mad that morning, imagining an alien and a spaceship that looked like a salad washer. It was the only thing that had given him hope as they drove farther and farther away from his home, from all that he knew and loved. Sam emptied his rucksack carefully. There was no splodge. He must have imagined it. He looked again. There were only the few things he had packed this morning. He turned it inside out. Tears started to roll down his face. He should have run away before they kidnapped him. Now Sam was lost just like his mum and dad. He was lying in bed, wondering if he ran away, would he be able to find his way back when the bedroom door opened all by itself. Sam sat up in bed and flashed his torch. There, slowly making its way across the floor without anyone helping it, was a bottle of tomato ketchup. It came to a stop. Then Sam heard the padding of little feet and saw the plate of finger-sized sandwiches wobbling in the air. They tottered one way, then another. Sam shone his torch on the plate. A small voice said, "Stop it, I can't see." "Is that you, Splodge?" said Sam hopefully. "Who else?" said Splodge, coming visible again, with the plate of sandwiches in his hands. Sam had never been so pleased to see an alien before. "These," said Splodge proudly, "are for you sandwiches of tomato ketchup and pea butter with nut." Sam was so hungry that he ate them all down. They tasted great. "Good news," said Splodge. "I have found my spaceship. Bad bit wet inside." "That's because Hilda thinks it's a salad washer," said Sam. "It's a Vizsla Junior space carrier," said Splodge, sounding offended. "And that monster alien thinks it's a salad washer, whatever that may be." "It's something you put lettuce in, and when you whiz it around, and hey presto, you have clean lettuce," said Sam, finishing the last of sandwiches. "Or hey pish boo, you have a broken spaceship," said Splodge. "I'm sorry," said Sam. Splodge didn't look up. He was busy comforting himself by sucking the tomato ketchup out of the bottle. Chapter 14. For the first time since coming to stay with the Hardbottoms, Sam didn't feel alone. He sat on the bed with Splodge looking out of the window. The moon looked like a big balloon that had come to rest on the garden wall. Sam told Splodge about his parents' disastrous trip and how everyone thought they were dead and lost in space. Splodge tutted. "I shouldn't think so. They most probably got stuck inside a grotto. Has anyone gone and looked?" "What's that?" asked Sam. "Surely you know what a grotto is," said Splodge. "No, I don't," said Sam. "I haven't a clue. What is it?" Splodge looked worried. "Don't you learn anything at school then?" "Maths, English and history mainly. Boring things like that," said Sam. "Not about the planets or the stars or space dragons," said Splodge. "Or how to look after a grotto and what to do if an orc back turns up?" "No," said Sam, who thought he would much rather learn about space than William the Conqueror. "Grottos," continued Splodge, "are black as space and hard to see. They have huge tum-tums and float about with their mouths wide open, feeding on metricles of light, gaggling up whatever gets in their way." Sam looked at Splodge, still not understanding what he was talking about. "Planet 10 Rings," explained Splodge, "is Millicue. So we look after the grottos and they look after us. keep the Orbats away for a start." "What are they?" said Sam. "Humongous space monsters that can gaggly up whole stars," said Splodge. "Why don't you think an Orkback swallowed the star shuttle then?" asked Sam. "Not possible. They live deep in space and we hardly ever see them. They wouldn't be bothered with a smidge of a thing like a spaceship. It wouldn't be worth munching." "Would a star shuttle be all right inside a grotto, or would that be the end of it?" asked Sam anxiously. "More likely to make a grotto Tom feel wobbly and wonky," said Splodge. "I need to get a message home to my mom and dad. Then I would be able to tell them about the star shuttle." But the problem was, how were they going to do that now Splodge's spaceship was broken? Chapter 15. The morning did not bring with it a cheerful picture of holiday bliss. Thin drizzle fell, and Sam could not see the sea because of a cement wall that blocked out the view. All the neighbouring bungalows were boarded up. Hilda was busy trying to sort out the kitchen. "Did you get up in the night and take some food?" she said with a menacing voice. "No," said Sam. "Well, there are breadcrumbs where breadcrumbs shouldn't be," said Hilda. "Perhaps there's mice," said Sam. Hilda picked up the broom and shook it at Sam. "I don't want any more of your cheek, you little toe rag. Go out and play." "It's raining," said Sam. "Out!" shouted Hilda. Sam went out into the backyard. You couldn't call it a garden. It had high walls and crazy paving, and it looked more like a prison yard. In it were 2 broken garden chairs, a washing line with a mouldy dishcloth hanging from it, and a pot with some tired plastic flowers sticking out of it. Ernie was in the tiny shed at the back, fiddling about with wires. "What are you doing?" asked Sam. Ernie nearly jumped out of his skin. "Nothing, dear, nothing," he said. "Oh, it's you. What do you want?" "It's raining," said Sam. "Oh, all right, you can stay here, but don't fiddle," said Ernie. "What's that?" asked Sam, pointing to a funny-looking machine. "It's a Citizens Band radio," said Ernie, beaming with pride as he showed Sam how it worked. "It's not like your everyday radio. Before I retired, I used to drive long-distance lorries, and this is how we talked to each other. We all had different names." Ernie blushed and said, "I was called Tiger Oar. Sometimes, if I was lucky, I would be able to pick up signals on it as far away as Russia and beyond. Isn't she beautiful?" "Could it send messages into space?" asked Sam eagerly. "I don't rightly know," said Ernie, scratching the top of his head. "That's a mighty long way away, isn't it? I mean, it's further than Russia." "Only a bit," said Sam. "Anyway, I've just bought a bigger receiver," said Ernie, "but I'm having trouble wiring it up. The instructions seem to be written in double Dutch," he said sadly, looking at the manual. "Ernie, where are you?" shouted Hilda. "Out here, sweet pea." "What are you doing?" "Nothing, dearest, just fiddling," said Ernie. "Stop it right now," shouted Hilda. "Come here and help me make pea soup. And you too," Hilda shouted at Sam. An awful smell of overcooked vegetables greeted them as they walked into the kitchen. "I want you to stir this," said Hilda, showing Sam a pot of smelly, slimy green liquid. "Don't let it stick to the bottom. That soup is going to have to last us a week." Sam sighed, and he did as he was told. It was then he realised both his hands were going invisible. "Hilda," said Ernie, staring at Sam, "do you think boys fade away when they're unhappy?" "What gibberish are you talking now, Ernie?" said Hilda. "Sam's hands. They've gone and vanished," said Ernie. Hilda turned on Sam. "You are doing this on purpose, aren't you, you ungrateful boy? And after all the trouble we've gone to." "I just want to go home," said Sam bravely. "I shouldn't be here." "He's got a point, dearest," said Ernie. Hilda looked more frightening than an old flesh-eating dinosaur, all red and furious. "You keep out of this, you pea-brain," she snapped, towering over Sam. "You'd better stay in your room until you learn not to play any more of these jokes, or you'll be sorry you were ever born. Chapter 16. Sprods was on the bed listening to Sam's Walkman and finishing off the last of the tomato ketchup. Good news, said Sam, sitting down next to him, is that Ernie has a radio and a powerful receiver which he can't work. It might just get a message back to your planet. Bad news is I'm grounded until my hands become visible again. It's going to be a long time then, said Splodge. Sam was slowly fading away. By tea time, he was completely invisible. All that could be seen were his clothes. I don't think I should have stuck that patch on you, said Splodge anxiously. It was meant for spacecraft, not for H-beams. Stop worrying, said Sam. Look, last time I came back, so why wouldn't it happen again? Splodge tried explaining about invisibility, but it was no use. Sam was far too excited, working out the best combination for frightening the pants off Hilda Hardbottom. Hi, he said calmly, walking into the kitchen for tea. I'm so hungry I'm almost fading away. Ernie and Hilda nearly jumped out of their skins when they saw a cap and a pair of trousers coming towards them. I don't think this is right, dearest, said Ernie, dropping the newspaper. Shouldn't we be able to see him? Of course we should, said Hilda shakily. I think it might be best to take him home and get a doctor to have a look at him, said Ernie. What do you think would happen, you ninny, if we went home with an invisible boy? Said Hilda. I don't know, sweet pea, said Ernie. Hilda sat down at the kitchen table. She was really worried. This wasn't in her grand plan. In fact, she could be accused of causing Sam's disappearance. Then they would be in deep trouble. Hilda couldn't allow her plan to go wrong, not now when she was so close to getting what she wanted. Maureen Cook from Dreammaker Tours had said it was only a matter of her seeing Sam, then the money would be as good as theirs. Remember the year, sweet pea? It came back, said Ernie, trying to sound encouraging. Hilda filled their bowls with green, slimy pea soup. Eat up, she said, putting on her TV face. We don't want you fading away altogether now, do we? Sam took off his cap and put it on the table. Hilda jumped back. There was now nothing to show that Sam was sitting in his seat, except a spoon playing with the slimy soup. I don't much like pea soup, said Sam, who was enjoying seeing Hilda squirm. What do you like? Said Hilda nervously. You can have anything you want as long as it helps make you visible again. Sam gave her a long list, starting with 12 small bottles of tomato ketchup.
Ooh, Hilda's beginning to panic. Love it. See you next time. Bye.